the majority of people are sitting around too. I wonder if that would have been the same though if we started with this. I mean, some of it is that, Stephanie, your voice is just so calming, you know?
That's so great. Well, you know what, you got to work with what you got, right?
You
I
do.
always say that when I'm speaking or whatever, I go, you know what, I'm only good at two things, skating and talking. So I got to find a way to maximize and create a job out of that. Because when you really start to understand that you don't really have to be good at everything, but find out what it is you're good at, so that when adversity comes or you know, stuff comes down the pipe or something hits the fan, that you know what you can rely on. And that's what I can rely on, is my creativity, but also my ability to talk and my ability to skate.
So Stephanie, let's just play along for fun for a second here, and let's pretend that everybody's at a 4. So let's say, honestly, everybody, we've all been there. We've been at a 4 before. High level of stress, high level of anxiety. Talk me through it. What do I do? Give me some tools, like 2 or 3 things that are concrete. Do this.
Okay, so if you notice, it's not an even number. It's not 1 to 10, or it's not 0 to 5 or whatever. You notice there's no middle point. That's why when you do a poll like this, you're forced to decide one way or another. And I really appreciate the fact that you committed either to a 2 or a 4 or a 3 or something. So if you're at a 4, for example, and you're redlining, I call it. So when you're driving in a car in a standard and the RPMs are right to the hard right, and it's in the red line, that is when sometimes we see red. That's where that term comes from. So we can't hear things. We can't appreciate or acknowledge something, maybe input or feedback that we're getting from loved ones. We are truly, truly redlining. And when that happens, there is a way to walk it back, but it does mean that you have to have a commitment to a high level of self-awareness. And when I'm redlining, I know, first of all, I'll walk around my house and whether scream or hit a pillow or whatever, because I can't break it. I can't get it out myself. So I have to do something cathartic, something physical. I have what's that thing called on my deck?
I think it's called an elliptical.
Elliptical.
I'm working with you here.
Yeah, on my deck, and a rebounder on my deck. And then out in the back, I have a bike and I have the ability to lift weights. So I have to get it out physically. So if you know in your pies.
You're telling athletes to go and do something physical?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. That one's easy. Thank you.
That's the first thing, but it has to be a reminder, because that's not the first thing we want to do. The first thing in my experience, we want to go under the covers, or we want to, binge Netflix. We want to go into an escape. It's not healthy. If you want to escape, schedule it. A full day weekend of gaming or Netflix on purpose, intentionally, because it will then support the rest of your values or your pies. But for athletes, coaches, people who understand the power of our bodies, we need our bodies. If we don't take care of our bodies, you guys, where are we going to live? We don't live in our houses. We live in our bodies. So to connect to that and be that person that goes, oh, what am I doing? I need help. I need to reach out. I am redlining. I am maxed out. I'm at a 4. I'm freaking out. That level of anxiety also means you're living in the fear of the unknown in the future. Anxiety.
Can I share a little nugget there, Stephanie?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I read another book not long ago, and it really helped me to understand escapism. And it just made sense to me. So what I noticed was it's called this book called Stillness is Key by Ryan Holiday. And he talks about the difference between leisure and escapism. So leisure, going for a walk for leisure, doesn't mean having ear pods in and going as fast as you can. A leisurely walk is actually a time where your brain can keep up with your body. And that's leisure. Or painting is leisure, or doing something that you wouldn't normally do is leisure. However, escapism is where you don't have to feel your feelings. Leisure actually allows you to go through it, but escapism is a different thing. So I'm not sure if that's helpful, but it was really to me, because you use that word escape, and I think it just really resonates with me to understand the difference.
We can't, it doesn't matter who we are. We everywhere we go, everywhere I go, there I am. So I can't escape myself. you can numb yourself with whatever external food or alcohol or TV or music. I had the privilege of working with rock stars and people who make a living and making millions of people happy with their music. And in my experience, what they all had in common was a deep, deep sadness because they couldn't get what they needed from that. So they went external and they tried to escape and do different things and draw negativity into themselves. So sometimes I was able to help and sometimes I wasn't. It was too far gone or, whatever. But escapism is something that we as human beings are drawn to do. Did you happen to see the explanation about when bears hibernate, why they hibernate?
No, tell me.
Oh, I probably won't get it right, but you can probably Google it. They hibernate because they know that they need to rest, and it's time that there's not enough food out there, so they're going to go in and sleep and find a place just to be quiet and settle and get themselves ready and grounded for when there is food and when it is time for them. So I was thinking about that recently, is just how powerful that is when you know it's time to go inside. It's time to rest. And I think the people on this call, especially knowing from around the world by the looks of it, who's on this call, you wouldn't be on this call if you didn't understand that this time in the world right now, there's nothing we can do. It just might be time to rest. So instead of pushing against the adversity in the sense of trying to find a place of being within it, how about just doing the opposite? Not the obvious. Do the opposite. Find a place within yourself. Start there.
Well said. Well said. One more poll. What is your biggest fear today?
Good one.
Is it the unknown? Is it that me or my loved ones will be getting sick with COVID-19? Oops, wasn't supposed to say it. I won't be able to make money or pay my bills. That I'm not strong enough emotionally to get through the self-isolation or other. And if you choose to put it in chat, I won't see your name. But what is your biggest fear? There's lots, Stephanie, coming in around the unknown. Everybody's commented on at least one, but the unknown is really overwhelmingly 50% or more are saying the unknown. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure.
How do you deal with something when you don't even know what it is?
Well, I guess in many regards, the illusion is that we do know what it is. We don't know what tomorrow's going to hold in any regard. So that's the illusion on so many levels. The fear of the unknown is real, but the unknown can just be something that you're creating today, because we don't know what's going to happen. In any level, we don't know what's going to happen. The results of an Olympic Games, we don't know what's going to happen, in the results of anything. So cut yourself some slack.
Yeah, there's some brave souls here that put some other things in here. So thinking I can't do anything. So feeling helpless. Yeah. Yeah. Not knowing when it will end. This person's dealing with school for their little one, and her husband is essential service. So bills are paid, but worried about my kid. And parents, man, we hear you. We hear you. That I'm trying to do too much and not in a strong enough place mentally and emotionally to get it all done. Ooh, good one. The school year, upset about the school year, worried about a house in Montreal, worried about losing my physical shape that I've worked relentlessly to build. Thank you for that one. That is incredibly key. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. So do you want to address a couple of those ones?
I do. And let's take a breath. And just know that what you're feeling is real. Be true to that. And when we take the power off of that fear, we can replace it with something that we can do, something that we can control, something that you can do. Keep your body in shape. Will it be in a world champion shape? No. But you know what? It can be pretty damn good. Give yourself a time during the day, connect with your pies, give yourself the chance to check in. You know, if you're in a different city and you had to go away, you have resources. You have people that will go over and check on your stuff. You have people, you have a community. And I think, you know, with our quantum speed, with our crew and we're working, we said, you know, our community, that's our immunity. You have a community. And that's when circling back to figure skating, we're teaching figure skaters, ice dancers, figure skating coaches, that you have a community, you have people. It's not just competitive. We make each other better by competing with each other from a place of commitment. And if you get better, I get better. So trust yourself, slow down, cut yourself some slack. Know that you're already in a place of support, and then reach out. You have to take action. You have to reach out. Every single one on this call has our email addresses. You know how to find us. If you want to put your name in the chat thingy and go, this is what I need help with. I don't have a whole lot going on in the next couple of weeks either. So as a resource, my commitment to quantum speed skating success, Ice Academy Montreal, all of our businesses, is that this is what I'm built for. I want to help you discover what you're built for.
Well, that sounds lovely. Thank you.
That's amazing. Stephanie, I just want to add on to that, because I think this is part of our training, right? When you said at the beginning, I'm built for this, you didn't just show up that way. You trained yourself to be built for this, to be able to harness adversity. And part of navigating chaos is being able to trust yourself within it. And that's what you've taught both Vanessa and I over and over, and the athletes that you work with. And I don't know about you, but a lot of the athletes I work with this year, one of their goals was emotional management.
Wow.
Timing to do another piece of their training. Right.
Wow. Thanks, Judy. That makes a ton of sense. And I appreciate you saying that, because when you understand who you're becoming, it's like we're never finished. Right? This journey of a champion, it's like ongoing for the rest of my life. And one of the hardest things I had to learn over time through the journey of being in the NHL is that they didn't want me. They didn't want me there. I didn't fit. But I was so laser beam focused on my contribution that at first I didn't notice. So they would put adversities up in front of me. They would challenge me. They would cut my skate laces. They put shaving lotions in my skates. They hid back in the day, my boombox when I was, skating to music and stuff. And I'm in this. They would order a tracksuit for me. I'm a ladies medium. They would get me in men's extra large, and then I would just put it on and go out there with my ponytail and my coffee breath and no makeup, and I would just give my gift. And I was relentless in it. And then when I started to notice that I was chipping away at a history and an environment, yes, they didn't want me. But then they realized I was looking after myself. I was true to my values. I wasn't looking for a date. I wasn't, sleeping around. I wasn't looking to be famous. I just wanted to help athletes get faster. That's what I wanted. So when I stayed true to that, the adversity started to soften and the acceptance started to come in. But I think had I surrendered to that and succumbed and cried every night, sometimes I would go home and cry with my husband and say, these guys hate me. And he's like, yeah, so what? Off you go, get back in there. So when you see me, with Ben, when we were on our world journey, or with Mary France and Patrice, we have a famous line that they know if they're listening, get out there. That's my deepest line. Get the F out there. Off you go. You've done all the work. Off you go. Mm-hmm. So there is a place where I know with my clients that I am certain. My certainty can squish your doubt. So I know how you've been trained. Everyone on this call, if I've worked with you, I know how you've been trained on the ice, off the ice, emotionally, mentally, physically. So I trust that. When you're uncertain, share my certainty, share my confidence and love and belief in you. And that's what the difference is with the environments that we're creating for athletes at this level. And that's why these seminars and these webinars are going to be so important going forward, is that we're going to continue to build a community of like-minded people who maybe we don't have anything in common, You know, I remember saying back in the day when, you know, after Ben was retiring and Mary France and Patrice had their magical Olympic moment,